Hello, everyone. Yay! Welcome to the party. I'm just teasing. We are going live in my group, Intuitive Angel Messages, here on Facebook. This is where I love to go live. And again, I just popped my website down below there as well if you guys want to reach me in any other way. And I have my special guest, Jackie, with me today, all the way from the UK. Woo! Yay! And we are going to be relaying messages from Serapis Bey and Archangel Michael today. I have a sneaky feeling that the two of them work together. That's the feeling I get of it. Similar or like frequency. That's just going based on a feel. That's not really actually been relayed to me, but I can just feel it.
Yeah,
Have you felt the same thing?
I felt the same thing, yeah, because
Yeah.
I've had their two cards out sitting in front of me, and they both seem to be like, yep, yep. Yeah, they both just. I think they're
Yeah.
in cahoots.
Yeah, cahoots together. And often that is the case when you look at ascended masters and archangels. A lot of the time they do work together. Certain archangels work together. Have you noticed any archangels that you have noticed work together with each other?
Not that I can think of at the moment, but I'm sure they. I have seen it before, but I can't think who with now.
I noticed Raphael and Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael and Archangel Michael tend to work together.
Uh-huh.
And then probably only in the last 3 years, I've noticed Gabriel kind of stepping in as the trio, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I haven't really worked with Gabriel yet, but he does keep sort of like coming into my consciousness. So I
Uh,
think I'm going to have to go there soon.
get ready to rumble with Gabriel. I love how he says he's the one, he's the archangel that gets things done. I'm like, okay, sounds good. Could you just take it easy on me though? As I'm sweating on the sideline. I'm just pulling up the page here so I can see everybody's comments as well as right here. So that's awesome. So super pumped. You just joined me in the last mediumship course, the beginner's course, and of course you're going to be coming into the next 102, and then I also have the next dates up on my website for the next courses coming up. And I just thought I'd ask, how did you like it?
Oh, that was awesome. Yeah. That
So,
I mean,
yeah,
I'm
it was quite the
self-taught.
ride.
I'm self-taught in most things, but I always do that and then sort of like want to take a course because I
Yeah.
think when you do learn things yourself and then go into a course, you learn so much more really. You learn all the things that you've missed as well, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, meeting my guides because I knew they've always been there. I've always known that I've had these two angels that have helped me my whole life, but I've never really worked with them. And certainly, channeling now with my voice is a new thing for me. Because normally I do it all through automatic writing.
Oh,
So so
wow.
so
My
the
gosh.
voices I'm learning to actually speak what I hear.
So many of you guys in the course, you and many others, you're just free flowing now. It's just like
Yeah.
for me to watch it, it's just like watching a miracle. Well, you would say a miracle unfold before you, really,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I think you just feel relaxed in a nice environment with everyone. So you feel like, right, it's now, I'm going to go now and I'm going to do it
And it's
now.
just
So you go
step
for it
off
more.
and go.
Yeah.
And I notice a lot of people, you know, either one, you can come to the beginner's course or the 102, makes no mind. Either way, you can take either one at any time. You don't have to take one and take the other. Jean here is saying the beginner's class was incredible. I love it. And, you know, the thing is that when you step forward, you meet a whole bunch of new people. And I've noticed that we have like people that don't channel, they're just kind of curious and seeing what this is all about. And then people
Yeah.
that have been channeling, but in different ways. So, there's multiple different ways of channeling.
Yeah.
It's not just connecting in and picking up on clairaudience. Oh, so many different ways. Like that's what the angel cards are there for. Although some people use tarot. In my courses, I prefer the angel cards.
Yeah.
Just easier, simpler, and very high vibrational and colorful and beautiful. And you know, some of them are lined in gold flake and, you know, getting a little fancy schmancy on us. But they just act as a bridge to get you to where you need to go. And then we step off and do
Yeah.
what you are now doing. Is that not amazing?
That is pretty amazing.
It's so amazing. And these are gifts that we all have that we're using
Yeah.
all the time unconsciously. So then when you come to these courses and then you're like, oh, this is how I do it consciously.
Yeah.
And then you know how to do it.
Well, interestingly, most of my channels for months and months now have all been saying similar things, and they've all been telling people to individually channel the angels, channel the spirits. They're telling them to communicate with their own team all the time. So I think that's
Life
rather
is so
nice,
much
really.
easier. It's so much easier when you can connect in with an energy that's so high vibrational that's helping you
Yeah,
and that can see all the different paths before you. Oh my gosh,
yeah,
I can't describe how much more. It's just like it's so enriched and so magical and so wonderful, wouldn't you say?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, big
And then
time. Yeah,
and then
and chat.
you're stepping up
Well,
during the course and helping other students. And
yeah, well, I'm just like that. I hold this energy that sort of like brings people together. So,
I love it. Absolutely
yeah,
love it.
I mean, the channeling that I've been doing over the past sort of like 6 months has just taken a different realm, and they seem to be sort of like slightly queuing up now. It seems to be a queue for me.
That's what
I don't
happens.
know.
They're like, this
Yeah.
one's open. She can hear us. She
Yeah.
can start
Well,
live
I was
reading.
channeling these really weird beings about 2 weeks ago, and I'd have written this long channel down, and in between, another one came in, and it was this tree spirit, and he just wanted to say this little bit, and then I went back to the others. And
We were talking about that not long ago. And, you know, we had a tree spirit follow us when Ashley Cunningham actually came up to visit me 2 summers ago. And it was brilliant, very high vibrational. Very high
yeah,
vibrational. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember now. Yeah, we had one of the other students on. I won't use any names, of course, but asking questions about that. Isn't that cool? Yes, that is one of the things that you know, when I'm doing these courses, I teach what the angels teach me to teach. It's what they've taught me over the last 15 years. It's not what they tell me to do, it's what they are suggesting I do if I would like to communicate with them. And I'm like, okay, well, we're going to give it a go and see if these techniques work. I don't know. I'd say they work pretty good.
yeah,
So many of you stepped off and started channeling like right out the gate. Well, I would say probably what, about 5 to 7 days in, which to me is right out the gate. Um, yeah. Well, here you go. So Nina says, I want to start channeling, but I'm scared of channeling negative energies. What do you say about that, Jackie?
well, there was a big thing come on about a few days ago, and it was so on the 555 portal. I watched something, and she was so explanatory about it,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the importance of keeping your mind clear. I mean, for a start, always bring in Archangel Michael. If you're really, really worried, you can always ask the angels
Ask
in
them to
around
move
you, and
in.
they'll always protect you.
Come and
But
move
it's,
in, Big Mike.
yeah, but it's just very important to just keep your mind clear, keep grounded, keep your vibration high, and the more high
Correct.
vibration you are, you're not gonna affect, not gonna be affected by lower vibrations anyway. So
Yeah, lower vibrational frequency, it's not going to even notice you. It's not going to want
no,
anything to do with you. Why would it want to be around you and Archangel Michael and Jesus and all the other ascended masters? Like,
yeah. Well,
if you,
some people say that the brighter you shine, the dark come in. Well, that's not true. It's actually the opposite. The brighter you shine, they actually can't stand it. Can they? Ooh.
well, if you think about a vibrational match, right? Like, if you are in the depths, right? If you're having a hard time and you're having a hard time having high vibrational thoughts, feelings, and
Yeah,
emotions, maybe your belief systems,
yeah,
um, well, then definitely call in Archangel Michael to come move in with you. I would,
yeah,
anyways. And then he just becomes your spiritual bouncer. So you don't have energies coming in and out of your home, and your home is shielded, and your
yeah,
space becomes much more high vibrational. And if you don't want Archangel Michael, then ask Archangel Gabriel or Raphael. But it's
yeah,
Big Mike who is the he is the one. And I only say that because it was 15 years ago. I remember, out of all the energies I started to channel, I could hear Archangel Michael's voice right out the gate. Nobody else. Everybody else was funneling through, and I was hearing them as my thought form. But Big Mike, I could hear him, no problem. It was his voice.
Well, you say Big Mike, he has got that huge energy, hasn't he?
Yeah,
And he is literally,
and his
when I
voice.
saw him, he was
Yeah,
huge.
yeah. He's like what, 9 feet, 10 feet tall,
Yeah, he's
something like
huge.
that.
Yeah,
And so he said to me, I want you to ask me to move into your home. And I'm like, what? Why would I do that? And he said, so that I can be your spiritual bouncer, so that I can
yeah,
clean your home, clean clean the energy from the people entering your home, and
yeah.
shield your home, and ensure that energies aren't coming and going. I said, sure. Why wouldn't I do that? And you don't have to ask him once. That's the beauty of it, because he'll come around
Yeah.
with you. He'll come with you to the grocery store. He'll come with you in your car. Wherever you go, he goes with you. If you
Well, see,
move,
since
he
you've
goes with
given
you.
me that,
Yeah.
I gave that to a client the other day because she'd just been defrauded of her money. So I asked Big Mike to come in and protect her money.
Good job. What
Yeah,
a great thing to ask for.
yeah,
And now that you are saying that, I had a client the other day who was the daughter of one of the students that came into the course. And so when I'm giving the reading to the daughter, Archangel Michael said her mom had already called in Archangel Michael, and we had all this elaborate discussion about what Archangel Michael knew, because this has already transpired between her mom and Archangel Michael, and her daughter just sat there smiling like, yeah, it was all true. And I was like, okay, cool. So they know everything. There's
yeah,
nothing they don't know. And why would we limit and lower our frequency to be scared of negative energies at all, when we
no,
are the beings of light and love here?
yeah,
If you don't like something, call in the backup. Let
yeah,
Jesus, Archangel Michael, and whomever else take care of it for you. Your only
yeah.
job is to keep your frequency higher. That's it.
I mean, I've even channeled a grey, I've channeled a tall white, I've channeled a reptilian.
Mm-hmm.
And all the reptilian had to say was, we're not all bad. That's
That's
all he
what
came in to
that's what I
say.
heard too. Yeah.
He just wanted to
Beauty.
say his little bit, we're not all bad. So, yeah,
And we don't want to be living. We don't want to be living life in fear and being
no, because it attracts more of it,
worried.
doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And then you're going to attract in more people like that, more experiences like that. No thanks. Had enough of that gong show. I did that when I was unconscious. Now I'm more conscious. It's like, yeah, I don't need to go down that path again. All right. Oh, absolutely. If you want to ask source, love and light, God, universal oneness. Now, I'll tell you guys something. I've had several readings where people are getting pestered, or as Archangel Michael says, there's energies running amok. And what happens is we make the request for backup, but they say, yeah, we can, but as soon as we clear this, your vibrational frequency, your thoughts, your feelings, emotions are going to attract that right back in. So it's literally, it's either, okay, we're going to clear it, but this is your homework. And they give them homework to lift their frequency. Or the second thing they do is, we're not going to clear it. You
Yeah,
need to work on yourself.
yeah,
And that is where it lies, because it will always be starting here. If I don't like something happening out here, where do I look? Oh, right here,
yeah.
right here. What frequency am I emitting to, to match this happening outside of myself? All right. So, how exciting. Okay. So, for those that don't know much about Serapis Bey, do you have a little bit of something you want to say about him, so that he's an ascended master?
Yeah,
We'll start
yeah.
there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just drew the card when you said, who would you like to channel? And I just drew his card.
Oh, there we are. There he
Which
is.
he came in and he didn't look anything like that, actually.
No, he does. I haven't seen him with that headdress thing on his
But
head.
I've heard another person that I listen to, a spiritual talker in England, talk about him a lot. And when I first heard the name Serapis Bey, I actually thought it was a place. But of course,
But
you know, when he came in earlier today, because I thought, well, I'll get used to his energy. And so he's very relevant to dealing with the ascension at the moment. That he's all about the ascension and helping you with the ascension, and anything you need, any advice. That's mainly all he was talking about. I even done a card spread and it was all about the ascension. So that's what he's very like. He seems very focused when he comes in. He's a gentle energy, but very focused. So
awesome. Think about it though, guys. Like, um, why are we going to allow ourselves to dip into lower vibrational feelings and emotions when we have these magnificent beings here, all surrounding the planet, helping us with ascension? Why are they all here? What are they doing here? They're helping you lift and raise in frequency, and they're cleaning us up, and they're cleaning the planet up too.
yeah.
So anything that's heavy or weighing you down in your life, this is the time to give it to them. You can give it to your guardian angels, you can give it to Archangel Michael, you can give it to Serapis Bey. So anything in your day to day as it comes up, who are we giving it to? Here you go, Big Mike. Give it to them so that they can help resolve it and transmute it into the light. So, what would he like to say to each of us?
Mhm.
Mm. Gentle, peaceful, but direct. Wow.
Yeah, that directness is quite serious. He really wants to tell us how important we are, and the jobs that we're doing now is very important. He's really sort of like pushing that forward.
Yeah. He's coming in from above me, and it feels like rays of his energy. It's like rays of light above me. He's thanking me for creating these spaces online for everyone. And he's just like smiling and really happy to be here. Like he's just like, this is so fantastic, so great. All right. So you want to channel his words first, and then I'll go after you,
Okay.
and then we'll bring in Archangel Michael after, and then we'll answer everybody's questions.
So he's talking about people bringing their unconscious thoughts into consciousness, because he's saying a lot of people think about things all the time, and there's this dialogue, this quiet dialogue going on in their minds, and all of them thoughts he's talking about are being sent out into the universe. He's saying we hear them all. We hear the lot. He said, and people have to start getting control of truly what they are thinking, because that's the only thing, he's saying, that's going to take us forward, by getting control of this unconscious thinking. And it's a chatter that constantly goes on. He says, especially when people watch the TV and listen to the news, this chatter goes on. He said, and that's greatly affecting people's vibration. He said, and all these things are holding people back. he says, don't worry, we're all ascending, but these things, he's saying, slow the journey down. It's like mud on your wheels, he's saying. It's like mud on the wheels. He said, so we have to become aware of this. We have to literally clean the wheels and clean our thoughts up and keeping our focus. He's referring back to that thought about fear of channeling. See, that is one of those negative things that we don't need to bring into our consciousness anymore. That's just another fear scenario. That's the spread I done earlier talked about this, all this fear scenario of the ego holding us back. He said the path is clear for us now. He said we just have to stop this dialogue going on. Bring those thoughts into the conscious mind and clear them out. Wow, he was quite intense then. Thank you.
That's the first thing. That's the first thing my angels taught me 15 years ago. And people are like, wow, that's just so like, but it's just something I've been doing now for 15 years, which is as soon as you have low vibrational thoughts or emotions, belief systems, anything that's going to drop your frequency, make you feel inside.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're looking for the feeling. In that moment, really pay attention to what you're thinking and give it to your team of angels to transmute.
Yeah.
And the more you do that, the less it comes back, the less you're attracted to it, the less you have that chronic thinking about it. And then it just doesn't come back anymore. And then you're really allowing the light to anchor further. And then you have more high vibrational thoughts, more high vibrational feelings and emotions. And
he just said we clear the road then. We clear the road forward.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I'm going to tell you guys something. I don't teach about protection in these courses. I know some of you would be like appalled by that. But the reason why I don't is because never, ever once have the angels told me to protect myself other than asking Archangel Michael to move in with me to be my spiritual bouncer. And of course, if I ever have any issues that I want further backup, I'm just calling in Jesus and I let them take care of it.
Yeah.
I don't have to sit there in worry and fear and surrounding myself with white light and, you know, surrounding myself with crystals and saging. Now, if you feel the need to do that, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But what energy does that stem from if we're always thinking about protecting ourselves?
Yeah.
It comes from fear. And if it doesn't come from fear, it comes from just like a worried, kind of hesitant feeling. So, if I want something cleared, I'm talking with my team, I'm giving them direction, I'm giving them a request, and I'm making it known what I want. And I let them do the work for me.
I think that's why Serapis mentioned the TV and all that as well, because obviously, especially if you watch Facebook, what does and doesn't go up on Facebook, and there's a lot of talk about the dark and the dark side and dark beings and dark this, shadow work and all this dark stuff. And I think that's what he was talking about, because people are watching all this and that's trawling over in their minds, and then it is creating more negative energy, isn't it? So that's why he wants us to be aware of what we are watching, for anyone that does feel fear.
Feel the energy coming from the TV screen when you're watching a paranormal program. Does it feel uplifting and happy, or is it kind of heavy and you get a tightness in your chest and your stomach and maybe a little bit of nausea? Because if you are dropping, or if you have like a fearful kind of feel when you're watching something, then you might want to turn the channel, because then you're just creating more worry, fear, and really unconscious thinking, going down rabbit holes that you really don't need to go down. It's like rando rabbit hole thought patterns. Doesn't matter. Is it really going to truly benefit you to go down these paths? That's what you ask.
Right.
That's what I would ask in that moment.
when people ask about shadow work, I always say, forget that and just do light work.
Totally. And who taught me that? Mary Magdalene.
Ah,
It was Mary Magdalene one day came in. I was like, oh my God, that makes total sense.
yeah,
Focus on the shadow work and create more of, or focus on what you're appreciative and grateful for, creating more of.
yeah,
The light work makes way more sense. Let the light that's anchoring on the planet right now clean that low vibrational stuff up for you. Why do we have to
yeah,
focus on it? And somebody said to me online not long ago is, yeah, haven't you noticed the people doing shadow work are still doing shadow work like 10, 15 years later? I'm like,
yeah,
yeah, because, yeah, of course you are. Because you keep focusing on it, so you keep creating it, so you keep having to do shadow
yeah.
work. It's like it never ends, right? So I'm going to see what Serapis Bey would like to say through me. He's just so elated and so happy that I am stepping forward in the ways in which I am and creating these spaces online for each person. He says he knows at this time that things are very tumultuous and people's attention are placed elsewhere, and their thoughts and their emotions can be at times quite fragmented at this time with what is transpiring on the planet. But I still hold steady and I keep stepping forward in the ways that I do. And he really honors me for that, because it's not always easy to hold the light, even in amidst the darker days or more entrenched vibrational frequency on the planet. He says he wants everyone to have a look in my direction and see that you can hold the light and you can be light filled. Maybe not all the time, but a lot of the time you can choose to be light filled even in amidst the chaos or the darker days, darker moments. We'll say moments. And he says it's through the depths, it's through the chaos, it's through the suffering that we will grow and expand, and that this is what is needed at this time. And in fact, this has been needed for quite a long time. And now he's talking about the earth, and he's saying, how long do you think the earth can hold up for at this pace, at this rate of what we are doing upon her back? So if this didn't take place to slow things down, and also what is to come in the future on earth, then things would get to the point where we wouldn't be able to turn them around. So we could look at this like we're driving in a car and the brakes get slammed on and we didn't anticipate the brakes being slammed on, and it's like everything came to a stop for a time on earth. And even now it's like we're just kind of barely moving in the car on earth, kind of the car. He says, but that still doesn't mean that you can't crank the tunes in the car and sing to the music. Enjoy yourself, even if the car is barely moving, right? He just looked at me and he said, I love using analogies. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Always follow your gut instinct, Nina. Always follow your intuition. And by the way, Nina, the angels have always recommended rose quartz #1 as a crystal that you can use if you want to place it on your lap near your root chakra. It helps to open and clear the lower 3 chakras, and it helps to ground you. And it's a very high vibrational energy that comes from rose quartz. Rough cut preferred over polished. It has just a little bit more of a kick to it. Hasn't been processed as much. And if you could get a palm-sized piece of rose quartz and put it on your lap while you're working or indoors. That would really help a lot. You'll notice, you'll feel it when you put it down near your root chakra. Oh, yes. So let's bring in Archangel Michael and see what he would like to. I'll let you go ahead first and see what he wants to say.
He's just telling me at the moment how well I'm doing. I'm going all shy now because he's talked about me.
Cheering you on.
He is, yeah. Yeah, he's agreeing with what somebody put up there about cleansing, the importance of cleansing our bodies, cleansing our areas. Of course, spending time out in nature, he says.
Which is very cleansing.
He said he'd love to be everybody's protector. He said that's his main job. He can look after everyone in every moment for whatever they need.
And we just have to ask him.
He's saying there's nothing to fear. There never was anything to fear. But programming has put that in the minds of humans. That program's now lifting. But we can call on them anyway for help. Any of the angels, they're always there for us. He's coming in close now. The energy is absolutely awesomely overwhelming. Wow, he's got his hands on my shoulders. Oh, he's saying he can help everybody stand up tall as well. So in all their things they want to do, all the new steps they want to take, he can stand behind you and put his hands on your shoulders, and he can help you step forward. He can help you with strength, inner strength. I can feel his energy now. He's making me actually literally sit straight upright. He's really making me feel calm and strong. These are all the qualities that he can bring to everybody. Because the change is here, he says, and we now need to all start stepping up within our lives, whatever that means, whatever we want to do. It's time to step forward now. It's time for the changeover. If you don't know what to step forward into, just spend time in nature, in stillness, and that will help you connect more to your inner selves and bring out these ideas and ideals that you want to bring forward into the world. All the trees will help. He's laughing about the trees, but he's saying all the trees will help you as well. He's showing me people sitting by loads of trees now, helping them be grounded, helping them feel strong. But the angelic realm have always been there for everybody. And now has come the time where everyone will start to see that, really. And they can call on the angels anytime they want. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
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 That's lovely.
That's just so incredible.
You just vibed me up, he has.
You're going to be floating for the rest of the day after that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Wow.
Aww. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for that. I'm just reading this
Awesome.
message.
Thank you.
Yeah, super fun and high vibrational as always. Just loving
Yeah.
this. Thank you so much, you guys. Isn't that
I
wonderful?
tell you, all start tapping into these angels because they really do. I mean, I felt tears there, but they are beautiful, beautiful tears of joy because the energy of the angels is actually so incredible when they're all around you. I can still feel them. They're all around me now. I can still feel them all. And it's like a warm, pink, cotton woolly feel all around you. And it's really, it's really cuddly and lovely.
And, you know, I mean, really, why would you not want to connect in with that frequency on a
Yeah.
regular basis?
Yeah.
I mean, they can be straight to the point with you at times too. You
Yeah.
know, they really want to help us get out of our own way, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what Archangel Michael would like to say through me. He's just teasing me to keep walking forward, keep stepping forward. Even when they ask me to slow down a bit, I'll listen and I'll slow down a bit, but I don't ever stop because I'm passionate about what I do. And I love to see the light come forward, the consciousness come forward, the happiness, the joy, and helping people connect in with their spiritual teams.
Mm.
And I like to see that all come forward within them. He said that, he says, what seems long ago when I first decided to come into this incarnation, I was very hesitant to incarnate back on Earth into another body, but I agreed to go hesitantly, and he helped to bring me here. He's always been here with me. And then when the time came, he asked me if he could move in and live with me, you know, in order to help me further. But he says that I've done brilliantly here. And this has been actually one of my harder lifetimes with the health issues that I have endured. There have been other transitions that have unfolded in my life. Like there's certain things that your soul will sign up to learn from. So I remember asking, what are some of the things my soul signed up to learn from in this lifetime? And one of the things that came through was abandonment, the feeling of abandonment. And that is very much so, you know, people, you know, as I have shifted and changed vibrationally and I've changed as a person, some people just have exited my life, right? And that's just the nature of it because you're no longer a vibrational match for certain people in your life. Uh, so there have been certain transitions in my life that have been difficult at times. But I have stepped forward and I have come through these transitions flawlessly. I don't know if I say flawlessly, but I get what he's trying to say. I get it. It hasn't been easy, but I've made it through. No, no, he's standing up for what he says. He feels it's flawless because a lot of people, if they were faced with the same things to endure, it would be much harder, much bumpier. And all of this suffering, all of these changes and transitions in my life has forced me to look at what is this teaching me? How am I going to make it through this? And it's forced me to go inwards. And my health issues have really triggered a slow awakening within me, he says. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. So I'm, yeah, he says that I'm one to, if something isn't working in my life, like if I'm not finding the answers, then I sense and I feel and I pick up on where I'm being guided next to get the answers that will help me get out of the trenches, essentially. I don't just flail and stay there. And I remember he's talking about 2 years down the path of having ulcerative colitis. I was unwell for 2 years straight and I couldn't find my way out. We had tried several different things and nothing was working. So I remember the moment where I said, well, I can't fix this right now. So the only thing that I can focus upon is my mindset about it and my mindset in general. So I just chose to uh, see the things that I was appreciative of and try to be uh, focus on the things that I was happy about. Because at that point, I was the victim and crying a lot for 2 years, and that just wasn't working for me anymore. I was like banging my head against the wall, and nothing was shifting or moving. So, once I changed my mindset, my perception in the moment, that's when things started to free flow again. You see, because if we hold on to the dense ways of seeing things and being in the world, we don't stop the flow of high vibrational frequency from coming in and assisting us, but we can slow it down. A lot of people put walls up,
Yeah.
like take those walls down, even if for brief moments, so that your angels and your spiritual team can come in and really help you in your life, like full force, really help you. And if you don't know how to do that, you say, I don't know how to take these walls down, but I need you to take them down for me because I can't do it myself. Whatever you need help for. If you feel like you need a clearing, Archangel Michael, could you really clear my energy today? Thank you. It's just that simple. You
Yeah.
just need to ask. Okay. He just wants to say how proud he is of me, of the transitions and the changes that I've been through. He says, walking through the muck in the trenches hasn't always been easy. Mm-hmm. He says we can make life easier on ourselves or we can make life harder on ourselves, and we get to choose that in each and every given moment with each thought, each choice. He says each choice of thought, emotion, feelings. And so we become the still observer. You aren't your thoughts, by the way. You are the still observer of your thoughts. So become the observer, and whatever syncs your frequency, that's the cue. Calling your team. He's just thanking me and he's thanking everyone. So I think we should answer some questions if anybody has any questions. And here's the first question from Nina. Are you able to call upon your starseed family members? Do you want to take that one?
Well, interestingly, since the course, my I'm not star seed, as it were. I'm an energy being. I was before I came here.
I don't have a label for it.
Yeah. Well,
but it was wonderful.
the channel I done last week was actually, because normally I sit and channel every 2 weeks with friends, was actually all about me and my star race. And they said basically that you'll like to hear this, that they said they really haven't got a name. It's more a tone, it's more a frequency.
Mm-hmm.
But they said, because I got Formir, they said I can call them the Formir, but it's more about the frequency rather than. And then they gave me all their names, but they said they haven't really got names. They are more frequencies. They are more tones than anything. Yeah,
I channeled in the course.
But that was since making the connection, and they come forward more, and so I've got they were always around me anyway, but now I know who they are, and
they feel amazing. I mean, I said almost feel angelic, but not. And
that's right, yeah.
And when I channeled them in the course, I couldn't there was no name.
No, that's what they said. Yeah. When I said, what is your name? They're like, you humans and your names, they said we haven't really got names.
We'll give you a name if you need a name, but we
want you to talk
to us and just feel our energy.
And all their names were like 4-letter words. Sarah, I think Mara, and they were something like that. So I looked up because I'm a numerologist as well, and I looked up the numerology.
Of course, we're
they were like, they were 3694, I think. So I thought that's probably relating to the frequency that each of them at. So yeah, that was fascinating. Yeah. So
So
I've channeled my race now.
if somebody isn't drawn to their guardian angels as much, but they're more interested in extraterrestrials, can they just call on their starseed family members to chat with instead of the angels? Absolutely.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
you can. They would love that. They'd be like over the moon.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well, when
and
I started channeling, that was mainly about, different ET races. I was channeling a different one every week.
right, because you're probably in search of what this energy was yourself
Yeah,
for yourself,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Search of
So
that connection.
and so during the course, how have you learned how to sense the energy around you? What's the
Well, that
number
that
one?
was something I sort of I think took for granted before, but because you were bringing it to the forefront, I've learned to think about where it's coming from, if you know what I mean.
Feel
I
it.
didn't really think about it before. I just thought, oh, I can feel that energy coming in, but yeah, they do. They do come in from different angles, don't they? And they have different feels to them, and a different energy, and
And the more you practice that, the more you become accustomed as to what their frequencies feel like and how different they are from one another. But
yeah,
the main thing, and I find that when you have souls that have had really different ET origins, okay, Nina, and you then come to Earth and you're like, oh God, it's just a lot different in a human vessel. It
big
is.
time.
And it's easy to kind of go down these rabbit holes of thought. It is. But what's most important is to create a still mind, I mean, quiet time, and then just feel around the room and ask your starseed family members to step forward really close and expand their energy. And then they will, and then you will feel it. Warmth, pressure. You might get a little lightheaded. Oh, there they are. Okay. And then chat away with them anytime you wish, in your mind or out loud. They're going to hear everything you say, anyways.
I was thinking what might help them as well as if they channel with one or two other people, because
That would
perhaps
be
they
great.
feel. Because I think that made me feel more comfortable when I first started channeling, that we were all doing it. We're all channeling totally different
Absolutely.
beings, but we were doing it in a group together. So
Yeah. And
you,
it's great confirmation, great high
yeah,
vibration energy.
yeah,
You chat with each other. So
yeah,
if you know anybody that's channeling, you practice with them. Always, always, always move in the direction of what feels right and feels good. Follow your
yeah,
intuition, your gut feeling, your internal guidance system. If somebody is channeling, but they're heavier in frequency, like really heavy, and you get a pullback tightness in your body, don't practice with those people, okay?
that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Here's a question. I was calling Archangel Michael a lot in 2013. How was he helping me then? Something happened at energetic level to you. Okay. So, shall we see what happened? Mhm. The feeling I get from Archangel Michael is you know what happened. You know what happened. One thing that has been noticed is feeling uplifted, lighter. It's kind of like a more of a free feeling, lifting of your vibrational frequency. And are there times where you feel his presence around you? Because I'm also getting that. So you might notice him where he is in the room, for example. And when you do call him in to move into your home, he likes to hang out near one of your entranceways. So it'll be one of your doorways that leaves or exits the home. If you have more than one, he'll be at one of them. How do you know which one he's at? By having a quiet mind, you can put your hand out in the room and just feel where there's a difference in the frequency surrounding your hand. You'll know where he is because it'll feel very different there. Okay? So I don't know what you get with that, Jackie.
Well, he just said straight away that you called him in. He knew you needed protecting anyway. He was there, and then you called him in. He was there more for you, to uplift you, to help you with what you were going through. He was pretty matter of fact about that. I think that comes down to a lot, that whether we believe it or not, don't it? We may have in the past called angels in and not necessarily believe that they're there, but boy, they are there. As soon as you call them in, they're there.
You know what they often say to me? They don't care if we believe. They care if we ask. I'm like, okay, sounds good. Because we're in a free will zone here on Earth. So unless you use your free will to ask, well, okay. Okay, so Jim, he was in the process of cutting down a tall dead tree, but he got a really big pullback in his chest, like don't cut it down. He took it as not a good day to take down the tree. Chest relaxed as he walked away. Is that correct? Yes.
Yeah.
Why can't he cut down the dead tree? It still has life in it.
Yeah, that was the tree elemental I got there that came out of the tree. It was literally going, no, 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 not yet.
Yeah, it still has life in that tree.
Yeah.
So
Not ready.
not ready yet to go. Okay. Now they're talking in the comments about, well, why would you cut down the tree? Because I wanted to cut it down for firewood. Oh, maybe not yet. Okay, okay. And then she's like, oh, I missed the part where it was a dead tree. Oops, sorry, Jim. You two are cracking me up in the comments. Too funny. Okay, well, I don't see any other questions here. So you guys, thank you for joining us. And thank you, Jackie, for coming and channeling with me. Isn't it amazing how
Yeah,
the tides have turned in such a short time? It's pretty
indeed.
amazing. It's like watching a miracle right before me. Really. It really is. I mean, it's amazing. I can't wait to see what's going to happen during the next week, during the next course. I can't wait. Okay, you guys have a wonderful Saturday. Sending you lots and lots of love. And I will see you guys online later. Bye.
Take care. Bye.